Many of us have asked this question. We sit with a quiet phone or an empty space on the sofa. We wonder where things went wrong. A relationship that once felt so strong and full of promise is now over. It can feel confusing and deeply painful. You are not alone in this experience. Countless people around the world have navigated the difficult waters of a breakup. They have looked back, trying to pinpoint the exact moment when the connection started to fade. It is a natural human response to seek answers when something important to us comes to an end. We want to understand the story of our own hearts. This search for answers is not just about blame or regret, it is about learning. Understanding why a relationship failed is a powerful tool for personal growth. It helps us see our own patterns and the patterns of those we choose. It is like being a detective of your own emotional life. You gather clues from past conversations, unspoken feelings, and moments of disconnect. The goal is not to solve a crime, but to gain wisdom. This wisdom can guide you toward healthier, more fulfilling connections in the future. Every ending, no matter how difficult, holds a lesson waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to look closely. The truth is, relationships are complex ecosystems. They require constant care, attention, and nourishment to thrive. They are not static things that, once established, can be left on their own. Just like a garden, they can be affected by weather, neglect, or pests. Sometimes the soil itself isn't right for what you are trying to grow together. The reasons for a relationship's end are often not a single dramatic event. Instead, they are usually a collection of smaller issues that build up over time, slowly eroding the foundation of love and partnership until it can no longer stand. So let's explore some of the most common reasons why these beautiful structures can sometimes crash and burn. We will look at the small cracks that can grow into large fissures. We will examine issues like communication breakdowns, broken trust, and the simple fact that people change. By shining a light on these common challenges, we can learn how to spot them earlier. We can also learn what it takes to repair the damage, or, when necessary, to walk away with more clarity and hope for what lies ahead in our journey for connection. Poor communication is one of the most frequent reasons relationships falter. It is not always about big, loud arguments. More often, it is about what is not being said. Partners stop sharing their day, their fears, or their dreams. Conversations become purely functional, focused only on chores or schedules. For example, a partner might feel unappreciated but never says so, letting resentment build silently. This silence creates distance. A simple solution is to practice active listening. This means you truly hear what your partner is saying without planning your response. Ask clarifying questions like, "What I hear you saying is that right?" This small habit can reopen closed doors. Trust is the bedrock of any strong partnership. When it is broken, the entire relationship becomes unstable. Infidelity is a major way trust is destroyed, but it is not the only way. Broken promises, consistent lying about small things, or hiding financial information can also erode trust piece by piece. Imagine one partner constantly checking the other's phone because of past suspicions. This environment of doubt is exhausting for both people. Rebuilding trust is a slow and deliberate process. It requires the person who broke the trust to be completely transparent and patient. The other partner must be willing over time to give the gift of forgiveness and a second chance. Another communication pitfall is the use of criticism and contempt. Criticism attacks the character of your partner, saying "you are so lazy" instead of "I felt hurt when the dishes weren't done." Contempt is even more corrosive. It involves mockery, sarcasm, and disrespect. It communicates disgust. For instance, rolling your eyes while your partner is speaking is a powerful, nonverbal display of contempt. The antidote to this poison is to cultivate a culture of appreciation. Make a conscious effort to notice the good things your partner does. Expressing gratitude, even for small gestures, can shift the entire emotional climate of the relationship from negative to positive. Defensiveness is another wall that blocks true connection. When one person raises an issue, the other immediately defends their own actions instead of hearing the partner's pain. A simple complaint like, "You were late and I was worried," is met with, "Well, it wasn't my fault, traffic was terrible." This response invalidates the first person's feelings. A better approach is to accept some responsibility, even if it is just for your partner's perception. Saying, "You're right, I should have called. I can see why you were worried," acknowledges their feelings and keeps the conversation collaborative instead of adversarial. People are not static. We grow and change throughout our lives. Sometimes, two people who were once perfectly aligned find themselves growing in different directions. This is often nobody's fault. It is simply a natural part of the human journey. One partner might develop a deep passion for travel and minimalism, while the other wants to put down roots, buy a house and build a stable career in their hometown. Their fundamental life goals, which once matched, are now in conflict. The key here is to have regular, honest check-ins about future plans and dreams. Sometimes compromises can be found, but other times loving someone means letting them go to pursue their own path. Different life goals can create enormous tension. A classic example is the question of having children. One partner may see parenthood as a core part of their life's purpose, while the other has no desire to be a parent. This is not a small difference that can be easily compromised. It represents two very different visions for the future. Trying to force one partner to accept the other's view will only lead to deep-seated resentment down the road. Addressing these major life questions early and honestly is crucial. It is better to face a difficult truth at the beginning than to build a life on a foundation of incompatible dreams. Financial disagreements are another major source of stress that can tear a relationship apart. Money is often tied to our deepest values, fears, and feelings of security. One person might be a natural saver focused on building a nest egg for the future. The other might be a spender who believes in enjoying life in the present moment. This can lead to constant arguments about budgets and purchases. For instance, a large, unexpected credit card bill can feel like a betrayal to the partner who values financial stability. The solution is transparency and teamwork. Couples should create a shared budget, set financial goals together, and have regular money dates to discuss their finances without judgment. Unresolved personal issues can also poison a relationship from within. A person who has not dealt with past trauma or has low self-esteem may bring that baggage into the partnership. They might be overly jealous, constantly seek validation, or be unable to handle conflict in a healthy way. Their partner can become exhausted trying to fix them, or walk on eggshells to avoid triggering them. For example, someone with deep-seated abandonment issues might perceive a partner's need for a night out with friends as a rejection. The most loving thing to do in this situation is to encourage professional help, like therapy, while setting healthy boundaries to protect one's own well-being. Every relationship that ends leaves behind lessons for those who are willing to learn them. It is tempting to shut down, to build walls around our hearts to avoid future pain. However, a more productive path is one of gentle reflection. After the initial grief subsides, we can start to look back with curiosity instead of just sorrow. Ask yourself, what did I learn about my own needs? What are my non-negotiable boundaries? What communication patterns did we fall into? Seeing a failed relationship as a teacher rather than just a failure reframes the entire experience. It transforms pain into a powerful catalyst for personal growth and future happiness. This process of learning allows you to become a better partner in the future. Perhaps you realize that you tended to avoid conflict, letting small resentments build into major problems. In your next relationship, you can make a conscious effort to voice your feelings kindly and early. Or maybe you see that you lost yourself, giving up your own hobbies and friends to please your partner. This knowledge empowers you to maintain a stronger sense of self the next time you fall in love. Each insight you gain is like adding a new, stronger tool to your relationship toolkit, preparing you to build something more resilient and lasting. It is important to remember that a relationship ending does not mean you are a failure at love. It simply means that specific combination of two people at that specific time did not work. It is a statement about compatibility, not about your worth. Many of the happiest, most securely attached couples have experienced breakups in their past. Their success is not due to a perfect history, but because they took the time to understand their past experiences. They learned what they truly needed from a partner and, just as importantly, what kind of partner they wanted to be for someone else. Ultimately, the journey of love is one of hope. It is a journey of trial, error, and discovery. While relationships can and do crash and burn, the human spirit has an incredible capacity to heal and to love again. By understanding the common pitfalls, we can navigate our relationships with more wisdom and intention. We can learn to communicate more openly, trust more bravely, and choose partners whose paths align with our own. The end of one story is not the end of your book of love. It is simply the start of a new and hopefully wiser chapter.